Now, Fil-Am stand-up comic Jo Koy is thrilled to finally release his book, Mixed Plate. Here, Jo Koy opens up about issues in his personal life, especially his family. Now, I got to talk to Jo Koy, and he told me what motivated him to write this book.
You know, I wanted to tell my story, and there's things that I talk about on stage that are, you have to be funny when you're on stage. But there are things in my life that I wanted to talk about in the book, and I can only get into detail through the book. And there was some personal stuff that I wanted to talk about, like my brother and divorce and stuff like that. So that's what the book was all about.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. Obviously, we're going to be seeing a different side to Jo Koy. Let's focus on that. I mean, there are many serious, sober issues here that really sort of paint the complete picture. Mental health issues as being, one of those. Growing up Asian American is another, issue that doesn't really sort of get the spotlight on it. It's usually a punchline, but there are some very serious things that you'd like to talk about. It's almost, I understand it was almost cathartic to write about it.
It was, man. It was very therapeutic too, to actually talk about my brother. Something I, for so long I would not talk about, because I was, and I hate saying this, but I was embarrassed to talk about my brother's health, his mental health situation. And, one thing that felt good was actually finally telling his story and letting people know that, hey, you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there that are dealing with mental health issues, and it's okay to say it, and it's okay to get therapy, and it's okay to get help. And so that's one of the stories that I talked about in the book, and it just felt so good to finally tell that story.
When did you start writing the book? And let's really sort of pick apart the reasons why it was so important.
This took me 2.5 years to write. So, and then thank God for the pandemic, because we kind of had extra time to really knock it out. But 2.5 years. And it's, something I've always wanted to do is tell my life story. I want to let people know just, that where I'm at today wasn't easy. There's a lot of obstacles, and there's a lot of, hurdles that I had to face, but overall, the outcome was great. And, if you stay focused, things will happen,
Was writing it, was that a natural thing for you? I mean, obviously you write your own material, you write your own jokes. Writing something as personal as this, how different is that from, constantly trying to find a punchline, constantly trying to find the funny side of things?
I think, just telling a story is easy for me. On stage, of course, I still have to be funny. I got to find that punchline. But with the book, I get to get in detail. I get to, tell the story the way I want to tell it, and not hold back at all.
Jo, you described the book as being, cathartic or therapeutic, actually is the word you used. How does the rest of the family feel about that? We've all got our, complicated family dynamics, funny side aside. How did the rest of the family feel about being so open about the family history, the dynamics in the family?
I think it's good to always tell your story. And, and I think more families should accept that. A lot of people like to keep secrets in and keep things in and keep it all bottled up inside. And that's not healthy. One thing you should do is talk about things, let people hear your stories. And it's very good for you, because when you find out that other people are going through the same type of situations, you heal faster. When you realize that people are a lot more relatable than we really are, then it's healthier mentally.
Listen, you dedicate this book to your son, Joe Jr. You guys have obviously got a very special relationship. I want to ask, how would you describe your relationship with your son?
He's the best thing that ever happened to me, man. I always say that to my son. I go, my life didn't start until he was born. Right. So, he's the reason why I do what I do, and I work so hard. Like
I said, you and your son obviously have something very special. How has the pandemic affected that? Has it become a stronger relationship?
I'm gonna say it right now, man, that the pandemic was amazing for my son and I's bond. I mean, I finally got to see my son grow in front of me. I've, before the pandemic, I was literally on the road every single weekend, and I was missing a lot of things and taking things for granted. And but during the pandemic, I was with my son basically every day and seeing him grow and doing things together, making more videos together. That was a lot of fun, and it's just him being my best friend.
Sounds great. But we are all looking forward to the book. Hit us with the details. I mean, where can we find it? Is it downloadable? I know it's going to be available and fully booked, if I'm not mistaken here.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Looks good. Mixed Plate. Grab a copy when you can. Listen, Joe, what can we expect from you next? The plans for world domination are obviously well underway. The world is looking forward to what you are going to be unleashing next. We're looking forward to the TikToks, man. Where are they?
Well, right now, the reason why I'm in Vancouver is I'm shooting a movie. So get ready for a big movie that's coming out next spring.
Fantastic.
And I'm shooting with Spielberg. So it's Spielberg's people that are putting this one together. So big things, man. So get ready.
No way. Fantastic. That sounds really, really good. But first things first, obviously, the book would be what people are looking forward to. Mixed Plate. Jo Koy, I can't tell you I can't thank you so much for making time to hang out with us here and talk about the book. It's been a real pleasure chatting with you. The one and only Jo Koy.
Love you, man. Thank you so much.